Hi, I'm Juliana Johnston Centuria, Morah, Chanah, and this is Jonathan. Shalom. We're working on lesson 7 in your main books today. So, Jonathan, one of the words is matzah. Matzah. Do you hear a new sound in that word?
Tss, tss.
Yeah, it's called a sadi, and it makes a tss sound. Why don't you try saying matzah? Matzah. Matzah.
Matzah.
Nice. So here's the way, you want to hold this one up. Here's what the letter looks like when it's in its main form, when it's anywhere in the word except for when it's the last letter. And you want to show them what that one looks like. When this letter is in the very last position, it looks like this, nice and long. So this is the second letter that we're learning that has a sofit. Do you want to try saying that word?
Sophie.
Sofit. You try again.
Sophie.
I hope you're trying at home too. Sofit.
Sophie.
So that means final. And that is when that's just the form of the letter. Final form. Sofit. Okay? So what other letter do we know that has two forms? There's one other.
Mem.
Right on. Mem, the triangle, and mem, the square. Right? Which one goes at the end?
Square.
Right on. All right. Well, let's show them how to write this letter. I'm going to use my left hand to help out the lefties. Why don't you use your right hand to help out people who write with their right hand? Okay. So let's show you too at the same time. So we start up here and we come down in a 1 and then a 2. Then we come up and do that little line. 3. Okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty easy. Now the final form is even easier. It's one big line and then a little tiny branch. Okay, let's try that. One big line and a little tiny branch. Kind of reminds me of a tree. And that's cool because this letter is in the Hebrew word for tree. Do you want to turn around? And the Hebrew word for tree, do you happen to remember it by any chance? I can't remember if we've talked about it in class. Maybe not. It's. Okay, it's kind of a funny one. It's a short little word. That's the word for tree. Okay, so two forms of the letter, both sound exactly the same, and we've got a little hand motion to go with it because the tss sound, it's like a TS or a TZ when you write it in English, kind of sounds like a sizzling pan to me. So, tss, that's my sizzling pan. You want to try it? Tss. That's kind of silly, isn't it? I hope you're trying at home too. So let's hear another word, and you'll hear then the tss sound in a different place. Meats. Meats. Right on. So the tss sound is at the end of the word this time, and that's when you would use the final form. And do you know what meats is?
Juice.
It is juice. Yeah. And we didn't say it, but I kind of think everybody knows what matzah is. You think
I think so too.
Matzah. Okay. That's the cracker-like thing that we often eat at Passover. But sometimes people like it so much they just eat it any time of year. Do you like it enough to eat it all year round?
I don't know.
You don't know. We never really have it around, so. But I like matzo ball soup all year round.
Oh, yes.
Yes, me too. Okay, I know you do too. Okay, so if you'll take a minute now at home and work on page 31 in your main book, and you're going to try to write each of the letters and then try to write matzah and meats, and we'll go ahead and wait for you to catch up. Hi, and we're back, and I hope you're done trying to write each letter and the new words. And we're at the top of page 31, line 1, and I hope you'll follow along just like we're doing here. Okay, and Jonathan, do you want to try? Why don't you try to read, and then I'll help you. Okay, because these are kind of tricky words because of the tss sound. It's not one that we're really used to. Why don't you try that first one?
Seats.
Good. Seats. Very
Seats.
good. Okay, you're going to maybe start to notice that the tss letter, the tsadi, might look a little bit like another letter we know. Let's read a few more and we'll see what happens.
Boats.
Nice. Boats. Very nice. How about this one?
Ots.
Very good figuring out. Ots.
Meats.
Meats. That's the new one. What's that one again?
Juice.
Right on. Okay, how about this one?
Mots.
What sound is that little one up there?
Moats.
Good. Moats. That's right. The floating dot. Very nice. Okay, and how about this?
Yaats.
Yaats. Good. That's the combination that I was talking about, the tricky one. That letter, the ayin, to me looks a lot like the tsadi. Do you think that too? You think maybe other kids might feel like that's a little confusing? Let's hold those up. So those letters look a lot alike, and the truth is they look even more alike when you look at your page, when they're printed. This is just our handwriting. But they're very similar letters, and you just have to really learn the different shapes to get used to it. So let's have everybody look at those two letters together on line 2 on page 31. So we're just one below where we were. Let's look at that very first word. And there you see the first one is the ayin, and the second one is the ts, the sadi. So why don't we try to pronounce that one? It's almost a tongue twister.
Atsits.
Very nice. Atsits. That's tricky. So remember the ayin. What's our hand signal that goes with that one? Do you remember? No, the ayin. Yeah. Right, that's because there's no sound, right? No sound except for whatever vowel marking we put with it, okay? All right, let's look at the next one. You can unlock so that we can read a couple more, okay? Let's try this one.
Omets.
Omets. Very nice, okay?
Gahats.
That's exactly right. Nachon.
Maats.
Look again.
Matsats.
Sats. That's right. So it's really easy to confuse the ayin with the tsadi. And so we're going to work on that in class 2 to try to really see what the differences are. Okay, that's very nice reading. And you can get more reading practice using the video game. So I'd like everybody to do lesson 7 on the video game. And I'd like you to do pages 33 and 34, which is the very end of lesson 7 in your Alphabet Quest book. And otherwise, we'll see everybody in class, won't we? Shalom ve'lechitraot.